Now back on to building or modifying my Clodbuster I brought. I thought I'd start putting the prices in what I've spent, and after the stage one where we added the sound system, the motors, ESC and pinions, which I have to admit I'm still waiting for them, it was up to £331. Now we got stage 2 where we got going to do dual servos, the links for kit and kits for mounting on the axle, and a nice metal bumper I brought. That takes us up to 436. I know I didn't have to have the bumper, but I thought I'd give it a try because I just like the look. So the servos we're dealing with, I can use full size servos, but what I was thinking was trying these out. So I wanted to try these because I know they're only 20 kilo, but for really the Clodbuster it's sufficient because you've got one per axle. It's not like, because in the middle it's not pulling properly at all, as you can guess. So I've got these two of these nice servos, and they were quite cheap actually. What I paid for them, I think 26 quid for buying a pair. And where I got them from, it was quite incredible. It was from China, and they arrived here in 5 days, which I think is very, very incredible. Yeah, here's the steering link kit with plate and all the hardware from UK Monsters, and this is from the part of the Clod shop. So we've got this to play with, and we've got the bumper. So first thing I'm going to do is put the bumper together on camera, and then I will tear the gearbox off the Clodbuster, service it because I want to put more grease in it and put waterproof grease in it, and then we'll go to mounting the rest of this on. Here's the bumper kit laid out, and there's the instructions for you to look at. So first thing I'm going to do is going to speed up the film into sort of a time lapse for you, and you'll see it go together. I don't think you need to see more than that, and we'll get that out of the way. That went together really easily, no troubles at all. That's all done. To fit it, I've put the lower screw in spacers. I've got 2 washers, and I've got 2 screws, and I'm pretty certain that screw is to work with the servo kit, because I know it works with the kit, but it would need a longer screw I'd expect because you're going through more metal. And we've got a couple of washers, so we'll put that to one side, and I'll work on the Clodbuster, getting the chassis ready, and then we'll continue from there once we get to fitting all this. the gearbox has been serviced. Now we'll look at the putting the steering link on and parts. There's the links. And other parts in the bag. Got a bit of carbon fibre plate, countersunk one side, so we're going to have to watch how we do this. We've got the mounts. I think they're made out of Durin or something, they said. It shows that's how to fit that part. So we'll get the steering on. Let's have a look. I think it's quite straightforward. Bolt goes up, linkage goes on, washer and a nut. The same this side. This is funny, this has the washer in between. I expected this to be easy. The only thing I didn't do is put the bumper on. Should I put that on next? I think we'll fit the lower bumper next. As that's, I think will be just that bit easier. We can get one side in. This side's a little bit trickier. But I'm leaving it loose so we can work on it until that point. Then it says, well, yeah, it says you can mount the servo the other way up if you need to, if you want to run it on a wire lead, but we're not. And I made a hash of that, haven't I? Put it the wrong side. That's a lot better. Now we've got to consider mounting the servo. Well, we've got a plate, we've got a countersunk, there's spacers on these countersunks, and like I said, there's a longer bolt. So I guess it's that way. We should be able to, I think I'll trying to outthink myself, is because we've got holes, but what's that hole for? And it says nothing. Well, let's get those two screws out for a start. Well, I've got the bolts out, so we'll do the top one first. So we need the spacer off one of the screws. Thinking about it, might be better to put both bolts through at the same time. And hopefully we can still get to, I don't think we're going to get to the lower screw, so fit this first. There we go. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it, is fit these first, and then we know they work. They're not going to go anywhere. Now remember, because of the bumper kit, longer screw at the top. with the spacer, shorter one at the bottom. Get them started. And we'll slip the nut in and done with it. I'll try to. I've just realised I don't want the nut in, do I? Because we've got that piece to fit. And what I might do is wind it in so far and put a washer each side. Definitely makes it a little bit more fiddly. Doing this. There we go, that's one on. The other one we can fit the nuts. There we go, and it fits pretty good at the moment, but we can, what I was worrying about is could we get to the servo screws. Now the servo fits downwards, let's undo the lead. That's not bad at all. There we are, it's all fitted. That's as far as I'm going to do until it's on the truck. It's only a temporary fit until I can get it all to line up properly. I had the servo on upside down, so actually I can get to the screw very easily. But now quite a bit of putting back together. There we go, the front's all back together. I think it looks rather good. What I'm going to do now is get the rear all done and set up, which is the same, except without the bumper. I only brought one for the front. And then I'll set the electrics on the side and then we'll see it running. I've got the radio sorted out and all that with the electrics, and I finally found out how to do sub trim on the rear. I took a slight adjustment. The end points are set on both, which is easy to do, I can find them. Are the 20 kilo servos enough? I'd say yeah. just seem to have too much throw one way. That seems better. So these servos got enough punch. I've just got to run it round a bit more and make sure it's I've got those trims spot on, if you understand. One other little problem I ran into was the sound unit. The system on this for 4-wheel steer uses channel 3, which is the horn. But if you plug it into 4, the 3-way switch, middle, up, forwards, and it works perfectly. So we sorted that out, luckily. I'm really pleased with that, working well.